half of you went and explored the town, and half of you stayed and hung out. But first, Talia went through every room in Susanna's house, including the attic, and looked through all of the shit.
They were curious!
They are so valid, and I love them.
And don't understand private property.
Did they manage to get into the attic? I thought they fell, like, when they tried.
No, they got into the attic, but
they just fell down while they did it.
It was the stairs that fell.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they fell with it and made a lot of noise. But they did get up into the attic and seen all the storage space that is in the attic, which I had to invent on the spot because I forgot that I had an attic in that house. Anyway, Vera also met a little bird who was knocking on the window and being terribly annoying at 3 o'clock in the morning. And then the morning happened. You all met Cynthia Crow, Susanna's sister-in-law, who was very excited to meet you, went and did some grocery shopping for everybody, brought breakfast, did quite a bit. All in all, quite a busybody, never stopped doing anything the whole time she was in the house. You also met her children, Cassie and Anne-Marie, and her husband, Coover. And beyond that, you met Liza Crow, Danny Crow, Carolina Crow, and let me see here, Marion was there as well.
Danny is the only valid.
Danny is, according to you all, the only valid crow. And honestly, you are correct. Having made all of the crows, including Susanna, the crow you all know, Danny is the only valid crow.
Cynthia's a little valid, half valid. Susanna is not valid, but we love her immensely. So
I appreciate the distinction. Susanna is not valid. So, half you met those folks, and indeed caused quite a bit of trouble. Diona harassed Liza by spilling her tea, sloshing her tea, freezing her tea, through magic so that she could not be detected over and over again until she finally, believing that it was her mother who was doing all of these things, blew up and caused a screaming argument between all of the crows there. And it was pretty awkward. It was pretty awkward. You all...
And Diona immediately disengaged from her crimes and proceeded to entertain small children with
Yep, you hung out with the little
stories.
kiddos, told them stories. They love you. They think you're cool and blue and tell cool stories.
Meanwhile, Talia experienced a microaggression.
Yeah, Liza Crow is a bad person, and
this is part of why Diona was harassing Liza with...
Talia experienced microaggression because I was trying really hard to establish that Liza Crow's a bad person, and I think I went a little bit too far, and I'm sorry. But it's fine. So, furthermore, motherfuckers who did not stay in the house, being the Bird Boys and the Bird, went exploring.
We sure
walked through the town. It's a pretty small town. They did not very much walking and still covered quite a bit of it. Decided to go to the graveyard.
As you do.
Susanna's grave, which is normal. And,
I'll be back in a sec.
Okay. Talked to some folks about Susanna's grave. Talked to Anna in the temple, I believe, who told you some information about her grave, possibly. You never insight checked her. Who knows what her deal was. And
hold on, can we return to the whole Susanna's grave thing? Because I wasn't here for that.
You were not here for that, and in fact, neither was Vera, so you get to find out more details about that when the rest of the party does.
Okay.
But Susanna's grave was discovered. It was cool. But you don't know anything about that. It was just Vias and Dylan and Zoella, and they're very awkward. So, eventually... Susanna's relatives were kicked out of Susanna's home because it was almost time for the party's scheduled meeting with Miss Ida over at Idle Hands, and so you all decided to get up and head over there, and meanwhile the folks in the graveyard also got out of the graveyard, went to Idle Hands, and that is where you are all meeting. Outside the big, very big, old-looking house with the sign at the front that has the picture of the two clasped hands. Big wraparound porch. It's a gorgeous house.
I don't need it. I don't need it.
No, we
That
started in the dryer and then.
is, I think, where we left off. I don't know
we
shit.
were on our way to Idle Hands. We had all
You were on your way there, but it's really not that big of a place. So you guys are running into each other, the two groups of folk, like basically right outside of it. So.
Nice.
We can wait for Joe. I just wanted to do recap
Good.
for funsies.
Excellent.
And also so I knew what I was doing. I don't.
You sound very professional, I promise.
I'm so professional. I have notes. I have a pen.
Oh.
With
More than
which
I've
to
got.
make more notes. I'm so fancy.
Sir, can I help you? My son was being rude.
Rude.
Your son is being good.
There's so many options for computers. Sorry, I'm still looking. Why are they so confusing?
Because homophobia.
It is homophobic. At least I'm recognizing trends.
That's impressive stuff. Trends.
I love that they have the order soon, and then they have a certain amount in stock, and I'm just kind of over here stressing, like, by the time I get my next paycheck thingies, I'm not gonna get it. That would be sad.
Order soon stuff is just designed to trick you into buying without making educated decisions.
It is.
And yet.
And yet.
Okay, I need the blanket. I'll go behind you. Chilly.
So nice.
And this is rude and homophobic.
Mood.
True.
Also, Treasure, can you turn the volume up on Betsy a little?
I can do that.
Thank you, dearest.
Motherfucker. I failed Candy Crush again.
Oh no.
I am at level 1829, in case anybody was curious. Nobody is, but in case anybody was.
Why?
Because it has the shiny candy things and it makes fun noises. It is instant gratification. It is, I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
I need the shiny, shiny candy things to make my brain go yay.
Is this a bad time to mention I've literally never played Candy Crush before?
Oh, mood.
Don't.
I won't. I'm making knives instead.
Ooh.
Knives?
Not in real life,
Oh.
unfortunately.
I wish I knew that.
I'm not that cool.
I
Why
want
do
to learn how to
gaming
make
PCs have to have freaking number pads on the side? I don't care about those.
Sorry, Treasure.
Hiss. Ooh, there's two things for headphones.
So we're waiting on anyone else?
Nope. Now that you are all set, I think we can pretty much get started. So, you all are rocking up and running into the other group of Dylan, Zoella, and Vias are walking up the hill from the graveyard, and you all are walking down the street from Susanna's house, and you run into each other right in front of Idle Hands because of how conveniently out the town.
You got a bit robot though?
Oh, fuck. Am I still roboty?
You
No.
were a little bit, but I think you're okay now.
All right, just let me know if it gets worse, and I'll fight somebody. I'm not sure if that'll help, but I'll fight somebody anyway.
It'll help you, if nothing else.
Yep.
You're right. I will have fought somebody and therefore be proven as stronger. If I win, I might lose. It'll be fine. Good morning.
Good morning.
I kind of want to show these bastards the
At
crop top art. Okay. I'm gonna send an image. Hold on.
I'm
We
scared.
don't have to put. No, I'm gonna. In another campaign, there was a player who was like, "I'll draw the party, but only if they're in crop tops."
Oh my god.
Perfect.
Oh my god, I'm so ready to see this.
Art
Oh,
chat.
hell yeah.
Yep. Love it.
Oh, excellent.
That is devastatingly beautiful.
My character's the one in the mesh top.
Good.
Beautiful.
Of course.
Yes. That is everything.
From left to right, we've got Eldritch Knight, who is basically at this point Femme Trevor, Trevor except a lesbian from Castlevania. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Parker's terrible rat bastard man, Bard boy. The kind of stick up her ass paladin, and our two sorcerers. Mink is local bastard adopts other bastard. And honestly, Kai is just too small for this. And occasionally sets things on fire. Usually by accident.
That is even more relatable now than it was.
I love them.
I really appreciate the booty shorts, I gotta say. I think that's crucial to get an idea of the character. I think it's everything.
The paladin shirt says short stack, which is what my bard tends to call her. She's 5'2", and they hate each other.
Nice.
I should mention, he's about 5'8", so
Very cute.
Beautiful. Crop tops.
I really need to finish. I had a whole image of our party, but I need to draw a better one.
With crop tops?
I wish.
No, just put everybody in booty shorts.
Diana in a crop top.
That's
Literally everyone except for me will die.
Yeah. We can't handle that.
That's too much power.
That's too good.
I have too much
And
power.
And then, Josh, if he puts Vias in a crop top, then you'll die too anyway.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
You died over the one that I sent before.
That was a
He's
very
very cute.
I do enjoy him as a character. He's a hot boy.
Hot boy.
Yes. Hot boy.
Hot boy.
Tell me.
All right.
I mean, you can run it to the fridge if you want. That?
So, I think that as the party runs into each other, Susanna will wave at the warlocks plus Zoella and say, "Did you have a nice time exploring?"
Bias opens his mouth to reply and shuts it immediately.
Oh, that well, huh?
Oh, okay. Did you run into somebody?
Nope. It was fine.
Insight check. No.
Yeah,
I don't need an
Jesus,
insight
what a
check to
good
know
time.
something's weird.
Something is weird, but yeah.
Anybody can roll an insight check if they so choose. If not, you definitely still
You
know
can
that something's
insight on
weird.
what he's avoiding in general.
Get an
Talia
insight
is
check on
too
how
busy
awkward he
being
is.
like, what the fuck? In general for the town.
That is
Let's see. What's your performance?
valid
Buddy?
opinion of the town.
See if you can hide it. Nope, that was bad.
Oh, I guess I should open roll 20 probably.
Yeah, I just had the same thought.
Same.
Roll 20. Yeah, I'm the DM.
Oh.
I do things. I know things. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know who you're rolling for, Parker. Was that for Diona or for...
Yeah, that was for. So it's a 9 total.
Yeah, I
Oh.
mean, he rolled an 8 to try and hide his feelings. You can he's trying to come off as nonchalant. Just like shrugging his shoulders, but he's avoiding eye contact with Susanna entirely.
Oh, that's not great. Yes, sir, what do you need?
Hand.
Hand. Yep, have my hand. Yeah, I'm getting that. I just need to give you.
Well, I guess not
One hand.
avoiding eye contact entirely, but kind of just like glancing at her and looking away and glancing at her and looking away.
I get you.
Yes,
I get what's going on.
I think Diana's gonna try and talk to him later. We have a lunch engagement first.
We
sure
do
do.
have a lunch engagement. Oh boy, do we. So, Susanna sort of leads the way up onto this large porch of this very large house.
Quick question, PK. How does Susanna seem to be doing about heading towards this?
Well, she looked excited, and then Vias was weird, and she looked less excited. And now that she's up on the porch, she looks excited,
Okay.
but a little bit hesitant, perhaps. Who knows? You don't know. She's got a veil on. It covers most of her face. It covers all of her face, actually. But
I love the ideas with that wording. You just like got. Yeah, and then you got a tiny little bit of like her jawline that is visible through the veil.
You get her razor sharp jawline, because I've decided she's got a great jawline. All right.
Of course she does.
It's my character. She can be sexy if I want her to be.
Of course
All
she
right.
can.
She does not knock on the door. She just opens it and walks right in, holding it for whoever's right behind her in the line. And as you all, I assume, follow her in.
Yeah,
You
but I
hear-
think Diana's gonna take up back and pack just out of.
Vias looks like he's kind of gotten over that weird awkwardness and he's more excited to actually enter the building.
All right, cool.
Just a momentary, like, I don't know what to say in this situation thing is kind of what he's going.
Right. As you all enter, you hear sort of a deep kind of gonging of a bell, just one. It's not like a bunch of tinkling little bells on the door. It's just the door opened and then there was a deep one ring of a bell. And as you enter this lobby area, it's sort of lavish, it's dark wood. It's not opulent with gold trimmings, anything like that, but it is good like a chandelier in the middle of the room. It's very good carpeting everywhere, dark reds and rich colors everywhere, and it's very warm. Not really in the sense of temperature, though there is a fireplace. It's just very, as you enter it, the space feels like the vibes are good, They're warm.
Yeah,
It's got warm vibes.
It's
Description, not my strong suit.
Oh,
It's all good.
The vibes, my strong suit. The vibes are warm.
excellent. Just how I like them.
And as you're all entering, you are greeted by the half-elf woman with dark hair who you'd seen yesterday, who had been glaring at you all as you passed on the way into town. Was that yesterday? Yes, yesterday.
Yeah, that was
Been
yesterday.
glaring at you all quite fiercely and angrily. There's no sign of the same animosity on her face at the moment, and she sort of runs up to you and clasps her hands together and says, "Hello, yes, and welcome to Idle Hands."
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Well,
Good morning indeed.
Vias just nods his head and smiles.
Dylan kind of looks at Susanna and is waiting for her to do.
Susanna sort of nods at her and says, "Lagerda." And she says, "Hello, Mrs. Crow." And then Susanna sort of shuffles a little bit and she says, just Susanna's fine. And she says, "Well, then just call me Gertie. Ida's waiting for you. Go on in. She's redecorated. She's very excited for you to see it." And Susanna doesn't even glance back at you guys. She just sort of nods. I'll type it out in a second. She just sort of nods at this woman and walks into a door immediately and leaves. And now she has left you guys. Congratulations.
When you
Dylan
said walk
follows
into a door, I thought like literally walked into a door.
No, she opens a door, which has actually, as she opens that door, another bell rings, but it's a softer one, and it's a different tone. Another bell rings when she opens that door and leaves.
Dylan follows her.
She closes the door right behind her.
rude.
Wow.
Yeah, Vias is just kind of petting Mercy, who's like propped on his shoulder and like glancing around.
How similar is Idle Hands to Flory's place?
I do not have any memory of what Flory's place was. Probably
From
decently
what
similar.
I gave Josh to deal with, I'm going with similar kind of vibe,
Yeah.
and level of class.
Yeah.
But I think different kind of aesthetic.
Yeah. Little different decor, one might say.
Yeah.
Well, no one's told Talia what this place is, so they're confused.
Ah, right. Nobody's told Talia anything. Good job, us. I'm so proud of the party.
Rude.
Oof. So, this woman, she looks at you all and she says, yes, hello, yes. Miss Ida just wanted a few minutes to speak with her niece alone, reconnect, catch up. May I show you all to the lounge and perhaps get you all a drink?
Well, drink sounds lovely.
That would be fantastic.
That would be
thank you.
lovely.
And she will guide you all over to a different door. There are quite a few. There's 4 doors off this main room. Susanna went one in sort of the back right corner. This woman's leading you off to the left. And you all go through down a short hallway and
Is
into...
there another bell through this door?
There is another bell. There are bells. There have been bells on every door that has been opened so far.
We're in a convenience store.
Go and just make
They're
some
classier than
little,
convenience store bells.
Vias through the
We're
ring
in a
of
convenience
telepathy.
store.
I feel like Vias through the ring of telepathy is just like, what's with all the bills? Do they tell when people walk in and out of rooms?
It lets them tell what rooms are in use and what rooms have been passed through.
That's what I thought.
Good way to keep an ear on your visitors. Keep an ear on your visitors without privacy.
I figured.
So, this next room you enter, similar colors, the dark reds, the dark wood, everything. There's another fireplace here, and there's seating everywhere, armchairs, little love seat type areas, and there's a bar that this woman goes behind and starts and leans over and says, "So, drinks, what can I get you?"
Whiskey.
Very good.
Any type of wine would be fine for me.
I think Diana just kind of shrugs and whatever you'd recommend, frankly.
Very well.
I think Talia just kind of points at Diona and then points at themselves.
Yes, of course. She gets to work making.
Talia does probably notice that Diana seems a lot more at ease.
Yeah, well, Talia
I
doesn't
know.
know what's going on.
I know. Talia
So-
will hopefully get an explanation soon.
And as she's making these drinks, she sort of looks over at all of you and says, "I'm terribly sorry. I did not introductions. I'm Lagerta," which is
Oh gosh, yes, I heard.
you understand. The Mrs. Crow, she has
Friends
known me
only.
for very many years. She can call me Gerta.
Friends only, I understand.
You may call me Lagerta for now. Maybe we become friends soon. And she passes out your drinks and looks expectantly at you, sort of perhaps expecting some names, introductions of a sort.
Diana.
Diana.
Vera
I'm
Stone.
Dylan.
Vera Stonehelm.
Vera Stoneham. Very nice to meet you.
Vaya Steltari.
Vaya Steltari.
And I think Diana sort of pauses a moment before she introduces and goes, and she sort of gives Gertie a considering look. This is Talia.
Talia.
Talia kind of looks at you like, what the fuck?
At this reach and trying to indicate this is somewhere that I actually feel comfortable saying that.
Okay.
Pleasure to meet you all. Very much so. Can I take your coats? Do you intend? I understand you perhaps will be here for a little while. I can take your jacket.
I think Diana's certainly going to take her up on that, just because suit jackets are not the most comfortable thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Vaya's had, instead of been wearing his white sort of jacket thing, he had been wearing that green half cloak thing, I guess.
The cloak of the fake cloak of Elvenkind.
Yes. So yeah, he will hand that off, and he is still wearing that. I think, because I thought that he had like a kind of a billowy shirt, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think he's probably wearing like a little bit of that billowy shirt, but yeah. Okay, I'm trying to remember what he was wearing, but he was wearing that, and then that.
That's what he
skirt
was wearing, I think.
And then the black skirt that Susanna got him, or maybe he's just wearing the regular. I think he's wearing the regular pants because they didn't have the shoes for it.
That's true. You said that he did not have the shoes for that skirt.
Yep.
So, damn. But she goes around and she takes all of your coats. She's definitely appraising you all as she's walking around. She's looking you up and down. She's looking at your faces. She seems very analytical, still friendly but analytical. And she's looking at you all, and she gathers all your coats and she says, "Excuse me, I take these to the closet." And she walks out the door. The bell rings, and you guys are left alone for a moment.
The master didn't say she was that formal. Interesting.
Bias just sits there twiddling his thumbs, looking around. Did she bring us the drinks, by the way?
Oh yeah, she handed you the drinks as she was taking the coats, sort of. It was an exchange action that she had going. Very efficient.
Okay. Yeah, he is drinking his drink. Taking
Talia?
small sips.
I hope you don't mind that
I mean, I'm trusting your judgment here.
Thank you. From what I've heard from the Mars and what I've seen from Susanna, this place is a lot safer than.
Talia just kind of shrugs.
Yeah, I know, the proof's in what happens, but from what I've heard, this is a place we don't have to be on guard as much. And I trust my uncle, and he vouches for the character of these people. That's where I'm at.
All right.
Yeah.
And then the bell rings again, and Lagerda comes back into the room, and she is trailed by another woman, blonde, pretty fair skin, wearing a... Her dress looks less of a dress and more like a garment that once was a dress but has been modified for practicality and is now just sort of tied up around her waist in various bunches, and she looks altogether a lot less fancy, but still like there's effort put into her appearance, just a different sort of effort.
Mm-hmm.
And she is trailing behind, and she sort of just nods at you all as she passes, and then goes into a corner of the room and is taking things out of a small chest and arranging. And Lagerda sort of comes into the center of you all and says, well, please sit down, relax, enjoy yourselves. I can get you more drinks if you'd like. I hope you do not mind. Louise, she has something she needs to tidy in this room, and had not realized we would have guests today.
It's quite all right.
It's very good of you.
Dana is going to find it'll probably be one of the armchairs, because that way she's not accidentally taking like 2 seats.
Can
Very
Vice
good.
like not actually make a show of it, but like kind of try and see what the blonde lady is trying to clean up?
It seems like she's gotten some supplies from that chest, and there is like a corner of the room that has like, it's not maybe a stain on one of the walls, but it's like a weird, like there's something stuck to it. There's not chewing gum in this universe. Something of a gummy texture that she's trying to get peeled off the wall, and it's
That
not
can
like...
be chewing gum if you want that to be chewing gum.
It's true. I guess I'm God right now. There's chewing gum.
You're
it's
sitting
a
now.
gum-like substance that she
Just
is
like
attempting-
me and the muffins.
Yes, muffin-like object, gum-like substance.
It is
There we
chewing
go.
tar. I see.
Yes. And she is just completely, she's silently just sort of trying to get that off of there.
Interesting.
And not really paying, she's not looking at any of you, not doing anything that leads you to believe she even gives a shit that you're in the room. She just sorta is doing her thing.
Gotcha.
And as you all sort of settle down, there's a lot of seating available in this. It is clearly a lounge designed for the utmost of lounging, with plenty of people around. So you all can easily find a comfortable place to sit. And as you do, Lagerda sort of finds herself her own seat, which ends up being the arm of a chair. She doesn't have to sit on the arm of a chair. There are plenty of seats left available, but she sits on the arm of a chair.
She's just that bisexual.
Yeah, exactly. And she sort of looks around at you all, and she's still sort of, she looks like she's appraising you, and she says, so, you have been in Korik for almost a full day now. Tell me, what are your first impressions?
Well, I think it's a lovely city. And as he says that, he kind of like glances at Dylan, since they were the two that kind of wandered around.
Dylan cannot see this.
Yeah.
This is true. Dylan, this is a lovely room full of many shapes.
That's Corwick to Dylan has just been a bunch of cool shapes. What kind of color and shape is Gertie or Lagerta?
Gertie is sort of she is a generally brown shape, brown hair, brown skin, and her dress shape that is attached to her body shape is purple. Again, it looks like the dress you saw yesterday. Yes, because I said it was purple. It's purple.
Okay, because Dylan did see her.
Yes, you did actually see her
'Cause
yesterday.
Marcus is not dead then.
Because Marcus had not died yet. But now she is just a purple shape. But you can infer that she is the same purple and brown shape from yesterday.
Cool.
I think Dana kind of looks like she's trying to figure out how to phrase things delicately, and just there's a lot of attempted dignity in the town.
You know, that is a very interesting way of putting it. Don't think I've ever heard anybody try to describe it quite like that before, but I like it. Attempted dignity. Very accurate.
I mean, seems like they've got a very set way of how the world works, and things that challenge that, they try to make fit.
Uh-huh.
And I think there's a look over to our motley crew of Chuckle Fox, and just, I don't know if it's worked very well.
So, I ask about the town. You answer about the crows. That is very interesting.
They're
The
the only ones that we've met so
had
far.
interactions with. Our companions actually explored the town, but I kept Susanna company this morning when she did this.
There's a lot of birds.
Oh, there are a lot of birds, aren't there? I always thought that was strange. But it is how things are. Tell me, so where are you all from then?
I am from Iman.
Oh, quite far.
Yes.
We'll mention him on. I'm from basically all up and down the western coast, quite frankly.
Just outside of Kaimal.
Oh, very good.
Just outside Western, you said.
What was that?
Your original plan for Vera had been just outside Western.
Oh, sorry. I can't even remember at this point. Western.
Called out on not.
Yeah, how the fuck did you remember that? Off the top of your goddamn head. Yes, just outside of Western.
The Lore Dragon strikes.
Lore Dragon.
I actually had some stuff that Vera could have followed up on because of having lived there for so long.
Your lore.
Well, she wasn't from Western. She was from outside of Western, like the little town.
She was from close enough to possibly have an idea.
That's fair, yeah.
And I am from Marquette.
Oh, Marquette, even farther then.
Yes. Scotch
Very
is very
cool.
interesting to arrive on.
Talia's just kind of sitting there.
Talia, we met in Amon, but is a little bit more complicated.
Well, it is. If it is an interesting story, I'd love to hear it. If it is not so interesting, then don't bore me with it. She sort of turns to Vera, I think, and says, "Now, I don't know about the little town near Western, but I have been to Western recently. It's very nice there. I hear that is where you are also all coming from directly. He's from Western."
That's true.
It is. In fact, I believe you actually met my uncle, though.
Indeed, I did. Oh, my goodness. Louisa and Eric will never forgive me for not saving a portion of that delicious meal he prepared.
Oh, but how could you?
I just... It was so terribly delicious and such good company as well. Fine conversational with your uncle as well as a fine cook. He spoke very highly of you as well.
Dana kind of looks a little bit, slightly embarrassed and just, I do my best.
Uncles are like that, aren't they? But anything interesting happening in Western End? It's still been, a few weeks since I've been there.
Well, those weird swamp things attacked, kind of.
Oh my goodness, swamp things.
It got handled.
Oh, well, sounds thrilling.
We might share the story when Susanna and Miss Ida make their appearances.
Oh, yes, it shouldn't be long now. I can go fetch them if you'd like. I'm sure they're wrapping. But, you know, I feel it's good to let them have their talk. We can have our talk. No.
Let them take their time. I think Susanna could use a friendly ear.
Well, yes. How are things? You know, your uncle. I went to his restaurant. Louisa and Eric stopped somewhere else for lunch, you know, and it was terrible service. The man was awful, reduced Louisa to tears. She cried and cried and cried right out in the middle of the street. The man was mortified, she was mortified. Such a terrible thing, and such a rude man, too. What was his name?
Sinnott?
Ah, yes, that was the one. Oh, such a terrible thing.
I think everyone just watches Diona just grin slightly, and I think Talia, you notice she's trying very hard to just not start giggling.
Bias
Oh
just
yeah,
gives a
hair
slight
yogurt.
snort.
Yeah, the guy you hair yogurted. Yeah.
Bias just snorts.
You will have to tell Susanna about that.
Oh, yes. It was, you know, such a terrible ordeal. She sort of glances over where Louisa is kind of finishing getting that piece of gum or tar or whatever it is off the wall, and she has not acknowledged anything that you're saying at all, or even like turned to look at you even when her name was mentioned. But Gertie just sort of shrugs and says, well, you know, you'll excuse Louisa not telling the story herself. She's not much one for the talking, or much one for the listening, as it happens. But,
Is she deaf?
does Dylan ask that?
Is she deaf?
Ah, yes, she is deaf, and she only very, very. It is very occasional, and yes, you can tell a little bit. But it doesn't matter, you know. She's very good at reading lips when she chooses to pay attention, which obviously she's no reason to do so now. And she's good as well with and she makes some gestures with her hands. The signing language that she
Insight check on both of them.
Yeah,
I want to know if
I'm
she's actually
curious.
deaf.
I feel like she's like doing this on purpose to like spy on what we're doing.
All right, make insight checks on
might be
both
genuine,
Gertie
but-
and Louisa.
Insight.
Nope.
Insight.
Oof.
Oh yeah, I already have it pulled up.
Oh.
Rip.
Come on, buddy. Ooh, a 17.
Okay.
So with a 17, Bias, Louisa is completely not checked in at all. Like, she hasn't shown a single reaction to anything that has been said, anything that's been done. She, as far as you can tell, she can't hear shit.
Mm-hmm.
Gertie seems a little bit like she seems like she's having a bit of a joke to herself. Like she's laughing at something that you guys aren't in on when she's saying these things. But you can't really tell if she's, you know, you don't think she's lying that she's deaf, because she seems deaf and she's right there, but she seems like she's laughing at something perhaps outside.
There's some double talk going on.
Yeah.
She's not being 100% pure open book honest. And you also get the sense that nothing she's said has been 100% pure open book honest, but it all seems to be in good spirits.
Yeah.
She seems to be having fun with this conversation.
Okay. I just wanted to see if she was like trying to spy in on us or whatever the hell it was she was doing, so.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, Louisa doesn't seem to care. She is cleaning that gum.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's all I wanted to know.
Good Good to know.
And I think Diana's kind of gonna lean her chin on two fingers and sort of look at Lagerta and, so how long have you known? How long have you known Zeus?
How long? Well, I've known we were quite young, since 12 and 13, I would say. So, some number of years for sure, certainly. I've known her since I came here.
If I might ask, where are you from? Your accent's not something I've heard in a while.
Oh? What? I don't sound the same like everybody else? How strange.
You sound substantially less condescending.
You are very bold. I hope this is not how you talk when you are around the crows.
Diana just raises an eyebrow and gives a flat look, and I've been doing my best to not talk around the crows.
That's probably
But
for the best anyway.
from what I've gathered from Susanna, this is a place she feels comfortable.
Ah,
So I'm
flattered.
extending that trust based on her judgment.
Very good of you to say
From what
such
I've
things.
heard from my own, trusted.
Yes, well, your uncle and Miss Ida are very good friends. Very good friends.
Oh, actually, Miss Lagerta, I do have something for you.
For me?
For you and for Miss Ida, but you are the one who's currently here.
Oh, well, I love presents.
And Anna's going to reach into the bag of holding and bring out a small velvet pouch that seems to be holding a vial.
She will take it from you and
My
open
uncle
it.
sends it with his regards. He said that based on what he'd seen of you, it seemed like it would suit. I don't know very much about his perfumes. I don't.
She brings it to her nose and sniffs it, and then closes it again and says, "You know, Diona, I think your uncle is my favorite person in the world. I think it is the truth. I think he is my very favorite. Nobody else can compare. Nobody else gives me perfume. If anybody else gave me perfume, perhaps they would be my favorite. But he gives me perfume. He is my favorite."
I love this woman.
Yep.
She's great.
She sort of looks at you and looks back at the perfume, and she says, "Thank you very much for ensuring the delivery of such a fine and thoughtful gift. You do tell your uncle many thanks when next you see him."
I'll pass it on. I'll also pass on that that he is your favorite person, apparently.
Please do, and perhaps next time he sends me something to eat as well. She looks thrilled. It is about this time, because it's been a minute, it is about this time that the door opens again, a bell rings again, because that is a theme.
Yeah.
And Dylan, you see the regular sort of completely black shape of Susanna enter the room, followed by the large gray shape that you remember being introduced to you as Miss Ida DeBelle yesterday entering the room. Everybody else, you see the actual physical form of Miss Ida DeBelle in all of her tall and orcish glory.
Excellent.
She is wearing heels because she deserves them.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
And she enters and she sort of surveys the room. Says, "Well, I see you've all made yourself welcome, Idle."
It's a pleasure to be here. Miss Ida, as I just finished telling Lagerta, I have a present for you from
A present for me?
my uncle. He wanted to make sure it got through.
He is terribly sweet about that, because clearly everything is not getting through these days, but he needn't worry. I think we've worked out a situation with that. But do please give me this present that he's delivered to me.
It is a full bottle, not a vial.
Hell yes.
And I think it's just, rather than being in like a small bag, it is just this not very fancy glass bottle, but it is. He said you were quite fond of this one when he sent you the earlier form, so thought you might appreciate.
Your uncle is much too good to me, Miss Wavewalker. I do so appreciate this. If you happen to be passing back through Western again, I might ask you to deliver a letter for me, since it would be more convenient than the mail system. But she takes this perfume from you and takes a sniff, and then she hands it to Gertie and says, "Put that on my desk for me, won't you, darling?" And Gertie gets up and sort of quick steps out of the room and shuts the door. Louisa is still there. She's sort of packing things up.
She's vibing.
In her box. She's vibing, honestly. That's what she's doing.
Excellent.
And she sits down, and Susanna has long been sitting in a chair. As soon as she came in, she went and she got herself settled in an armchair. And Miss Ida sort of looks around and eventually sits in the chair that Gertie had previously been sitting on the arm of. And sits there and looks around at you all and says, "So sorry we didn't get time for our proper introduction last night. I'm afraid I wasn't keen on talking."
We
Well.
understand from what I've seen, all the senior crows, they are forceful.
Oh, they mean well, I'm sure.
I think
I
Dana
Well,
has to
isn't
struggle
always the
very
best.
hard to not let the doubt into her expression.
Vias just shakes his head and says, "Sometimes meaning well doesn't mean it's the best."
Indeed. And sometimes the best is not well. So, I see you all have drinks. Can I refill anything for anyone?
Vias will raise his wine glass that has been sufficiently drained.
All right.
Hold on.
You need to decide if Talia likes what they were given.
Oh. I don't even know what I gave them.
Oh no!
No, but they will take a refill anyway, because you don't fucking waste shit.
Oof.
Now
Damn.
I kind of want to roll and see if Vias likes this wine.
I think that Dana possibly does see Talia's expression, and something with a little bit more of a whiskey base for my friend here, please. It seems that the first one didn't go down quite right.
Was it one of Gertie's concoctions? She does get adventurous on occasion.
The wine she recommended was
was.
quite nice, actually.
We have good wine. We've got good
Um,
almost anything, but it's just when you put it together in the wrong combinations.
Dylan didn't order anything initially, but he's gonna go. I'd actually like some wine. I mean, I don't have a glass to refill, but like, some would be nice.
Of course. And Ida goes, and she makes the drinks, and she doesn't seem hurried or pressed conversation the way Gertie was. She's very casual and relaxed about the way she's moving around the room and talking to you all.
How alcoholic have these two drinks been?
The first one for you, Talia, not particularly alcoholic. The second one is considerably stronger.
Because Dana knows that Talia likes whiskey, so something with a whiskey base.
Whiskey.
I hate whiskey. Tastes gross.
Same.
Rum is better.
See,
Hawkeye has opinions on whiskey, but apparently the dice declared that Talia likes it, so...
Parker went
I
through a
have
very
no idea.
unfortunate "I'm gonna drink whiskey to seem like an adult" phase.
Oof.
It's over now, thank God.
I had some really strong Irish whiskey and I drank it all for a friend and it was like 5 shots of it. Oh, it was so bad. I had such bad heartburn. I will never do it again. It's so gross.
I like Irish whiskey, but then again, I like cream-based liqueurs. So,
But it wasn't a cream base. It was like a clear liquor. It was like,
Ooh.
I don't
oh,
know.
in that case, no, fuck off.
yeah, it was like
Yeah,
shade thinner. It was so gross.
Ooh. I played Kings with a fifth of whiskey once, so I'm kind of
Shit.
over whiskey.
I don't know anything about alcohol at all. I
Same.
don't even
It's
know
like
how to get
smoky
it.
and it's gross.
It tastes bad.
Yeah.
But we
it's
found out
off.
that Talia likes whiskey, so
It's like liquor,
I do
but
not
worse.
like alcohol.
If you ever start drinking PK, don't do whiskey. It's bad.
yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been told that by a few members of my family.
Rum or vodka is a safer choice.
I really should not be allowed to drink, so I think I'm probably going to plan on not doing it, but
If you're gonna do vodka, make sure you mix it with some shit, or else it's gonna taste like you're drinking rubbing alcohol.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
who needs to taste things when you can just drink things very fast?
I mean, I'm hardcore and I can do a shot of vodka with just a glass of water, but that's
Ugh.
not
Oh
recommended.
no. Even drinking vodka really fast, you will feel it. It will
Yeah.
hurt. It will taste bad.
Just drink cold water.
We
It
actually
helps.
had a fun realization here that there's these things called vodka cruises you can buy in Australia.
They taste like drinking Jolly Ranchers. They're so good.
They're also a standard drink per bottle, but they taste like Jolly Ranchers with a little bit of an alcoholic bite to it. So you don't realize that you're drinking.
Damn.
They're very good. Anyway.
Yeah. So
I cannot relate to any of this. I've
You-
been tipsy exactly twice, and I hated it both times.
That is fair.
That's valid.
I don't know
alcohol 'cause I
anything,
like
but I'm
hints of
pretending to
alcohol.
know things because I am DM. But Ida knows a lot about alcohol, so she will serve you all some alcohol.
Excellent.
Devina is kind of gonna just do a bit of a check on Susanna, see how she seems to be holding up.
She has actually lifted her veil, so it's a lot easier for you to see her facial expressions, and she's just she's sitting in the chair in probably the most bisexual way you've ever seen Susanna sit. Like, she is lounging in this armchair.
Susanna
I am
lounging.
Proud.
It is really remarkable. It's not something you've ever seen with her sitting anywhere, but she is lounging.
In fact, I think seeing this Devina is just having a little bit of holy shit.
Yeah, same. Just like the
Like,
smallest
delighted
of
holy shit.
side eye, but like not a bad side eye, just like, what?
Disbelief.
So, how long do y'all plan to stay in Cornwall?
I mean, as long as Susanna
Honestly, I
wants
was
to stay, right?
thinking leave that to Susanna's discretion because we do have business elsewhere, but
We'd like her to be included.
yeah,
She's been with us
she's our
for
friend.
a
We'd like her
while.
to.
Ida looks at Susanna now, seeing this prompting, and says, "Well then, baby doll, how long do you plan staying in Corwick?" And Susanna, like, the lounge has become a lot stiffer and a lot more concerned because she is now suddenly being asked to participate in an uncomfortable conversation. And she says, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know." There we go. There's your answer. I don't have a single clue how long we ought to be staying.
Yes. You don't have to know. Yeah? Plans can change.
Play it by ear.
Well, yes. We'll see. But I'm sure we will be around a little while longer, at least. And Ida looks back at the party and says, "You know, they're planning a celebration."
Oh?
Oh, yes. I don't know if you've heard much about Corwick, but we find just about any excuse we can to have a party. And, well, you all are a pretty interesting accused. So, there is a party being planned under the guise of showing our visitors just how much of a good time can be had in Corwick.
All right.
I don't have anything to do with the planning of this. This is all Mrs. Christabel Tucker. But I thought you all should know so that if you are surprised in the town square at any point in the upcoming few days, you do not freak out or otherwise try to injure the partygoers.
Is that a risk?
Oh, I don't know. Being surprised? Or you injuring the partygoers? I hear you're all very good at injuring things.
Yes.
Only when they attack us.
Well, you're not being attacked, but people are
Yeah.
very eager to celebrate. There will be music, there will be dancing, there will be food.
We are also
Terrible.
very good at getting injured.
Talia
Now,
is
when-
Yes.
Now, when you
steadily-
say injured, do you mean injuring physical injuries or injuries to pride?
Oh, there's a lot of that.
Yes.
Well, we can't promise about injuries to pride, but we'll do our best to make sure that there's not physical injuries.
Talia thinks their drink is the most interesting thing on the planet right now.
There
I
are
think
any
Dana's putting
I
out turn to Talia and just gentle tap on the shoulder and tells you. Everything okay?
They just down the drink.
Okay, that's a no.
As they're doing that, Vias just pipes up. And if there are any physical injuries, there is at least 3 people in this group that can heal people, so it will be fine.
Well, that's good to know. Just don't go rolling an ankle or, And if you should happen to trip anyone, don't trip any of my people. I'm sure there's a crow that needs to be tripped. And Susanna says, Ada, don't say that.
Oh, I'm sure there absolutely is a crow who needs to be tripped.
Diona, don't say that.
I think Diana kind of raises an eyebrow at Susanna, and I could trip Liza.
Look, if you saw what happened when Carolina messed with her drink.
Vias just tilts his head while you guys are talking because he has no idea what you're talking about.
You do not want that directed at you now, do you?
Is she that bad?
Look. And Ida sort of cuts in and says, Liza Crow is a very particular kind of creature. She is the sort of wicked that even her wicked mother could not handle. That poor thing. Imagine being so terrible that your terrible family just wants nothing to do with you. And Susanna says, Ida, you are being extremely rude right now.
Doesn't seem like Susanna's actually meaning what she's talking about.
She seems like she's protesting more for form than anything else.
Okay.
I mean,
Then
like,
Vias isn't too worried about it.
Suze, if we're gonna talk about rude, then I think you and I need to have a conversation.
Do not say anything
I think
about.
Diana just kind of gives a little smile and slightly leans forward, like she's considering saying what she's thinking.
I don't even know what you're referring to, but no matter what it is, I'm sure it's all vicious lies, every word of it.
I know enough Orcish to know what you were saying to those wolves.
How? What? Look. And Ida raises her eyebrow and says, Why, Susanna, are you using bad words? And Susanna's lounge is gone. She is like sitting in her chair, just head in her hands, like, but not actually saying that. But that's the energy she has right now.
Okay, so head in the hands is fine, but if she was doing like ramrod straight back down, I would back
No,
off.
she's not straight back. She's just like, ugh. She's having a. She's very
Talia-
FML at the moment.
Talia puts their empty glass on the table and is just kind of in a similar, like, oh boy, kind of position.
Dylan is sipping his wine and thoroughly enjoying what's going on.
Yeah, Vias is almost mimicking that. He's got his legs crossed and he's grinning.
I think Diana does kind of. Although I have to say, the face Liza made when the tea splashed her the third time.
Diana, if you listen, I know these, like, you can say that here, but if you say that around anybody,
Zeus,
you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get, and if you get in trouble, I am not gonna. You're just gonna be in trouble on your own. I'm not gonna.
Susanna.
Yeah.
I know when we're somewhere safe. You trust these people.
I trust plenty of people.
Everything I've heard, I can trust them too.
You can, but that's not the point. The point is, and Ida cuts in again and she says, the point is that now I'm curious what exactly happened to Liza.
Actually, same.
Diana's, I think the way Diana's going to do it is, Miss Ida, would you be so kind as to pour me a glass of water?
Talia also pushes their cup in Ida's direction.
Ida takes the cup, which is empty, and just fills that one with water and hands it to Diana, looking confused.
Talia looks at the water like a little disappointed, but is going to drink it.
Talia,
I can get you another one.
And Diana's going to look at the water and a little bit more, significantly more visibly than she was doing earlier. Kind of fix it, and you watch the water bob out of the glass, sort of swirl around, and then go right back in. I might have arranged for Liza's tea to be not in the cup for the majority of what she was trying to say. Splashed it 3 times, made it spill twice, and I froze it once. That was...
Is she seriously that horrible?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, then I'm glad I decided to go gallivanting with Dylan instead.
She would have destroyed you, Vi. She would have had so much to say about you. Good heavens.
What would she have said about me?
She would have probably said something awful about your eye. She just picks at every little thing that anybody has wrong with them ever. It's
I mean, like, both of my eyes.
What was that?
Both of my eyes are pretty bad, so, like, you know, I don't know how bad. Literally, probably anything she could say I've heard before.
Well, Elias kind of straightens his back and says, "I do have a spine, Susanna. I had a pretty nasty sister."
Clearly, look, I don't know your sister, so obviously I can't judge. I don't know your sister, but I don't truly believe that your sister would do what Liza does.
I mean, that's fair. I do not know this person, but I can handle myself.
Liza is a vicious, petty little something who wants to force conformity by the sounds of it.
Again, nobody would say anything. You can't say anything like that about Liza anywhere anyone might hear, because
you don't see us running outside yelling these sisters, Anna.
I will only say it where I believe we're safe. Okay?
At this point, Ida, who had not said anything since watching Diana's demonstration, she sort of leans forward and she says, "Now, could I pay you to do that to somebody's wine?"
I don't know if wine has enough water in it for me to do it, but I can certainly try.
You could water down some wine.
That's even better, because then they couldn't even enjoy it.
Vias just does like finger guns, like, I got you. Trickery domain goddess.
I could certainly try.
Ida will also hand Talia a new glass of whiskey, or whatever whiskey substance she had previously handed to you.
Talia will take it and drink it.
Perfect. That is your third beverage.
Yes.
So Susanna seems to be acting much more Susanna rather than Susanna May at the moment.
Yeah, she looks like she really wants, she's definitely fully in favor of bitching about Liza. She's just reminding everybody that only here is where we can bitch about Liza. Bitching about Liza doesn't get to happen anywhere else.
Yeah, and Diona is in full agreement.
Mm-hmm. One
Vias
second, I gotta
will-
plug my.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you can talk. I just gotta
Okay.
move.
Vias will kind of sit up a little straighter, kind of finish off the rest of his wine and set it down and just say, "So who else did you meet? We didn't stick around very long. I don't think I caught any names or people who were staying."
We met Carolina and her husband, who I can't remember the name.
Oh my God, was her husband there the whole time?
I believe so.
Wasn't he the dude vibing in the corner?
No, the dude
No,
vibing
the
in
dude vibing in the corner was Liza's
brother.
something. Oh,
It was Liza's brother.
And that was
Yeah.
who?
Not that you guys would know that. Here, let me find my list of people who were there.
Okay, because I want to write notes on the people because I need to
Cynthia,
check that.
Cynthia and her 2 daughters and her husband were all there as one unit.
yeah.
Marion was there, and Carolina was there. Carolina is Susanna's aunt, Marion's sister. And then Carolina's 2 children, Liza and Danny, were there. Why the fuck do I have so many fucking NPCs?
Because you had to populate a town, and I think Diona's kind of going to look at Miss Ida and go, well, after Liza finally got fed up, I did it one more time. I might have spat Carolina's tea at her, and that sparked an entire roar. I wasn't expecting it to go like that.
Ida looks kind of sharply at Susanna and then back at Diona, and it's like, well, now that is interesting.
And is Cynthia's husband was that Danny?
No, fuck.
No,
Cynthia's
husband was
Coover. His name is Coover.
Okay.
I just can't remember his name.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just for my notes.
Cynthia's husband is Coover. I forgot that he was there because he's
Thank you.
chill. But
Just vibing in the corner.
he was. I mean, he was vibing in the.
I think at Ida's look, there might be I wasn't gonna do it to Cynthia or Coover because best I could tell from Susanna, they're actually family members who are decent. So I went with one last. And then it sparked an entire shouting match. I did not expect that.
I think that I'm just trying to imagine it. I just wish I could have a picture of it because I'm just trying to imagine.
We have discussed the lament of Susanna not being able to have a picture of Liza's face.
And to think, Susanna, you thought one of these days you thought that you'd never wanted to see her face again, and now you would see it trapped in that moment for time eternal.
It would make a great tapestry, I'm sure.
Would it make a great tapestry? Absolutely.
Bias grins and winks at Susanna because we can technically. Well, actually, never mind. The ring doesn't let us show images.
Well, Susanna knows that Bias works with tapestries. Ida doesn't, so she's just taking that in as just a general statement. But Susanna knows, and so she's looking at him like, thinking could be interesting.
Bias, I think when he realizes that he was not quite understood, he mentions, oh yes, my family works in tapestries, so it could be a possibility to make a rendition.
You have, oh my goodness,
My mother is a very skilled painter.
Hang it up in my office. I would put it, Susanna, don't you think it would look so nice just above the door in my office? And then anytime somebody walked in, and if there was somebody I didn't like, I'd look up at the tapestry, and I'd be happy again. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Why are you thinking about having me splash with the red wine?
Oh, I don't quite know yet. That depends. It depends very much on a few things, but that's not anybody's concern but mine. And I'll let you know if I I come to a decision about that. Louisa, at this point, has finished putting away all her shit, and it seems like she's sort of been lingering, just kind of watching you guys. Not the same way Gertie was, like, very clearly trying to assess you, but more just because she's curious about all of you.
Yeah.
And she watched you for a little bit throughout this whole last conversation, and then she walks up, taps Miss Ida on the shoulder, and the two of them have a brief exchange in what appears to be sign language. And then she leaves through that same door. The bell rings, which she can't hear because she's deaf. I didn't think about that, did I? It doesn't matter if she hears the bells, really, but that is a whole system based on the bells that she cannot participate in. Whoops.
Yeah.
I made smart decisions.
It's okay. It makes a lot of sense, and you can write in that there are certain areas where there are like more visual cues for her.
It's fine. She's fine.
There's a fancy schmancy illusion that goes off as well.
Mm. Fancy. There's actually no magic in Idle. Not that anybody checked, but yeah, Ida keeps your drinks filled.
Excellent.
I think Diana does switch to something non-alcoholic after a little bit, just out of.
Bias is still gonna drink some wine.
No, that's Diana's. Fuck, never mind. That's a bad roll. That's incorrect.
Oh.
That was the wrong character.
Oof.
I think Diana is going to give to Miss Ida, though. If you hear someone talking about Ansel, they're talking about. It's just Ansel's the name we gave.
I will advise you now, then, if you'll permit me. I will advise you. It doesn't matter who believe you can trust. Give the same story to everyone, because even though you can trust people here, be very careful, because word travels fast of everything that happens. Oof.
I was figuring it wouldn't leave this room.
It won't leave this room, I assure you. However, I need you to be very careful. And she sort of looks over at Bias and Dylan. And she says, I need you all to be very careful too. Don't go asking questions when people might get more out of you asking than the answer they give you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I've never asked a question.
Of course you haven't.
Bias just kind of blinks at her a little bit and just grins and just says, no problem.
Insight check on Bias.
Or he's not.
Drunk.
Oh, is Bias just fucking
12.
I don't know if he would be lying or persuading.
Is he being honest?
He's trying to be.
All right. I mean, Bias seems fine. He's just tipsy.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, he just looks a little bit silly, just a little bit. He's kind of just like in that phase of where he's like smiling a little bit more than he probably should. He doesn't necessarily. He's not like. Yeah. Take that as you will.
Alright.
But he does not go for any more wine after this. He knows his limits.
I mean, Dylan's been drinking pretty slowly, so I don't know if he's finished his glass yet or not.
Dylan, we'll say Dylan's fine. Like, if you want your character to have drank enough to need to roll a Constitution save, go for it. But if you don't,
Not
you don't have to.
Yeah, Vias had 3 glasses within a small amount of time.
He's just feeling it. He's vibing.
Dylan is not into getting tipsy at like 2 in the afternoon.
That is true. It is also like 2 in the afternoon. But the drinks continue to be refilled, and you are provided with water should you like it.
Vias will take water.
Here's the thing, Talia isn't aware.
Hasn't
Oh.
Talia had an experience with getting drunk at this point?
Yes, but no one explained that's what happened.
I swore we had. I'm so sorry.
No.
No.
Oh no.
Oh, we're bad.
I swore we had.
I
God
love
damn.
Talia more with every passing day.
They're fine. They're just chilling. They're vibing.
They are
I thought you
vibing.
just said they're 5.
They might
They're
be
like-
5. Time is
They're
fucky.
like 5 foot tall and just drinking hella whiskey.
Yeah.
They have dwarves.
Actually,
Anna's gonna look over and go, Tolls, you should maybe slow down. Alcohol tends to.
Impair your senses.
It makes you dumb.
Talia gives like a raised eyebrow, like what, and like down at the drink again, and like they feel completely fine. They're confused.
Vias mutters against the rim of his water glass, and he says, "I'm not dumb," and he just drinks.
Oh!
of course you're not dumb, Vias. You're just a little bit happier than normal. And Susanna's been watching you, and she thinks you're funny as hell when you're slightly tipsy.
He just gives her like a really bright grin. He says, "You're
Say
a lot
look at that
nicer when I've been
sunshine."
drinking a little."
Someone just had to explain what alcohol does to Talia in front of Ida and Gertie.
Gertie actually left and has not been back yet. Now it is
Fair.
just you guys and Ida. But Ida did seem a little bit confused by that. She actually says something to Susanna in quiet Orcish that Diona wouldn't know these words.
Yeah, Diana knows swear words and cardinal directions, and that's about it.
And Susanna looks over at Talia, kind of shrugs, turns back to her, says something else, and Ida nods and says, "Are you gonna want some more refills, or would you like to switch to water?"
Talia nods at refills and pushes the glass across the table again.
All right.
I wouldn't want to wear out the warm welcome.
We pride ourselves on maintaining here, even in less than ideal circumstances. We've actually caught us at a good time where we're doing renovations up through last week. It must have been. We just finished them all, and we were not quite so cozy during those. Doing a little bit of upkeep. This place was getting old. It'd been getting old since before I took over, so long overdue.
Well, it's glad to be keeping care of such a nice place. I'm sure there's a lot of memories here.
Susanna raises her eyebrows at Ida, and she says, "Ida, the only thing that's changed is you changed those curtains right there. Not a single other thing has been changed. You all talk about renovations. It's all the same." And Ida just sort of shrugs and takes a drink of her
Well,
own.
then that means they're good renovations, because it means that they hid what was done.
There you go. See? Listen to your friend.
Sometimes the best renovations are the smallest ones.
And the least seen. So, is there anything that I can do for you all to make your entire stay in the town more comfortable?
What crew should we be most wary of, in your opinion? Most wary of missteps or...
Ida looks at Susanna, and then she points at Susanna and then shakes her head. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, we're already very wary of Susanna, but we also happen to like her. Sort of.
Oh, well. There's no...
Yep.
I don't know. None of them... Well... Watch out for Liza. Carolina's all right. Danny won't do a damn thing. He just sits and stays quiet because that is what he enjoys. I wouldn't have too much to do with Idris, but that's just my own personal choice. And Marion is probably the most annoying of all of them, but probably the least. No, not the least. She's the most annoying, and that's all I'll say of it. And Susanna actually does look a little bit upset at that.
She's the mother, right?
Yeah, that's Susanna's mother-in-law, and Susanna does look a little bit kind of upset, possibly slightly hurt.
She did seem like the nicest of the bunch that I saw, anyways.
She seemed nice in a very overwhelming way.
Susanna
is trying very hard to be delicate.
Susanna glares at everyone in the room, and she says she is trying her best. She is very sad, and she doesn't know what to do with herself. And she's done very so far.
I'm just Suze, I'm just not used to that kind of nice. Okay? That's all it is.
She's doing her best.
I'm gonna have a look at Miss Ida and see what I can read from her about that statement.
Make an insight check.
Yeah. I mean, Vias is convinced that she's alright. At least from what he knows. He only met her a day ago.
18.
Ida looks...
Book is over there.
Ida looks like she's just completely cold to this supposed suffering and sadness of Marion. She looks like she doesn't care. She looks like she is annoyed by Marion Crow and does not have any sympathy for her. That is what...
Interesting.
That is what you get from Miss Ida, who is like, Susanna's back is to her, so she's not really bothering to change up her expression. As soon as Susanna turns around again, she sort of does a sympathetic nod. But really, there's nothing too terrible you could get into them, I don't think. Don't do anything illegal. Idris is the lawmaster of the town. So
I think Diana kind of makes a face at that. And there's just a bit of a mutter of... that I think Talia and possibly if whoever else is close to her can hear, just, of course he's a cop.
Oof.
He did tell us that in the very beginning when we talked to him.
Actually, that was a conversation.
Remember that Aya's job was not here.
Oh,
that was, I think, he was speaking directly with Vias at that point anyway.
Oh, yeah, because I think what Vias was trying to do was get in with the parents. Just be like,
Yeah.
So, polite conversation. Oh, God.
And yeah, so Vias probably knows the most about those two at the moment, just from his little chit chat. Because he knows the most about Idris, because Idris wasn't at Susanna's place this morning.
Gotcha.
But
and I peeled his son's name out of him when he was talking about how sad he was.
You did. You know Susanna's husband's name. Congratulations.
Why we recognized it on the tombstone.
Ah, yes, the tombstone. But as you all don't seem the sort to come to a new town and immediately start doing crimes, so hopefully you'll be all right in that regard.
We'll do our best to not cause trouble. And we'll do our best to resolve any trouble we might get into as peacefully as possible.
Yes. Be careful. Do your best. It's a good town. Well, it's my town. I like it. Don't worry so much, but stay worried.
We'll be aware of ourselves as much as we can be.
Well, if there's anything else you need from me, I'm always here. If you're looking for any company, go ahead and ask. I've got plenty of good people here. And if you are looking for some drinks, come on over. I think, though, that I ought to let dear niece get back to her home so that I will not scold from dear Mr. Green Crow. And she stands up and dusts herself off. She helps Susanna out of her chair. Susanna doesn't need it, but takes the hand anyway.
How's Susanna looking? Like,
she's looking a little tired. She doesn't look super stoked that y'all are leaving, but she doesn't look miserable.
yeah.
Begrudging, I guess, right?
Yeah, she knows it's time to leave. She does not seem pleased with it, but Susanna, as she sort of she hugs Miss Ida and then she says, "Is Gertie still around or is she gone?" And Ida says, "Think she had an appointment, I'm afraid, but let her know you were asking after." And she nods at you all and sort of gestures towards the door and opens it. Seems like she's going to lead you on out.
Yeah, again, I think Diana's gonna back the pack.
Mm-hmm.
Vias
And I
will
think
stay
once
near
everyone's
Susanna.
much the way out, she might turn to Miss Ida and, would you mind if I stayed a while? I have some... I trust my uncle's judgment, but I'd like to get to know the person who means so much to Susanna, if that's okay.
Well, of course. Certainly, we can, as long as you won't be missed, of course. And she looks particularly at Talia, because you guys have been obviously sitting next to each other the whole time.
Talia gives a nod and then kind of scoots so they're closer to Vera and Lena.
She nods and yeah, so you all sort of proceed on out. Susanna leads the pack. As you guys get back to the main room, a gentleman, sort of tall, quite strong looking, also has blonde hair, fair skin. He comes up out of a different door, which also rings. Bells everywhere. And sort of approaches Susanna quite quickly and gives her a hug, and she seems very surprised by this. But
Yeah.
relaxes and says, "Oh, hi, Eric. It's good to see you." Says Susanna. "Everyone, I don't know names. I'm Eric. Yeah, just wanted to say hi." And he looks around at you all, nods again, and then darts off through another door, and that's pretty much see of him.
Sorry, when you said Eric and a blonde man, I thought of True Blood, so...
Fuck.
Small town. That's it.
Okay, yeah. And then you all are led out the door by Susanna, who knows where she's going. And you all sort of walk out. It's a nice day. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know. None of you have clocks now. Ha. And
yeah, because Diana doesn't have a watch at the moment because she
and
is
Diana's not even with you guys, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Diana, Ida will lead you into her office, which has a big dark wood desk in the center of it that seems to be on wheels of some sort because she moves it around a little bit as she sort of sits behind it. And there are more chairs in there.
Yeah.
And she sits down. She says, "So, do you have particular questions for me, or we have a little chat?"
Well, I figure you're the only person I'm going to get an honest answer from if I ask.
I appreciate that.
Diana kind of pauses and she almost starts to look a little bit sheepish, and I think she's sort of fidgeting with I think she started to go to fidget with the suit jacket and then remembered she wasn't wearing it, so she sort of fingers around
fuck.
her wrist and
I forgot that Gertie took all your jackets. You guys can get your jackets as you, by the way.
Good.
Well, that's nice that they're not just gonna keep them forever.
They didn't keep the jackets. In fact, Eric brought everybody's jackets and sort of handed them out kind of haphazardly.
yeah. We've been traveling with Susanna for... Diana kind of pauses like she's trying to figure what feels like a long time. And the minute Devon showed up, she was someone I barely recognized. And it scares me. And except when she's been here, she's been...
Yes, I know. I do know exactly what you... I know how it feels. I have to be perfectly honest. The woman who came in to see me today is someone I have not seen for years. It's good to see my niece again.
She made me hold on to her gun when we got to Westruun.
Her gun? The one I gave her?
Unless it's the 4-shot, no.
Ida looks... Yeah, Ida will raise her eyebrows and then lower her eyebrows and say, well, I don't know how much in particular you know of the circumstances surrounding
I know
Mr.
that someone
Crows.
broke her very badly, and she went right back to heal as soon as Devon showed up. And that scares me because she is someone who I have grown to admire over the time that we...
Now you listen to me, Down, all right? This is important.
Diana nods.
Susanna, my niece, Susanna, she is a dear girl. She got married very young. It's not advisable. If I'd been here, I would have put a stop to it. I did not. I could not. So she has been a very particular sort of person for very many years. And her coming back today, she is more like the girl that I knew before she got married than time. So I understand that you're concerned. I understand that you're worried for her, and I understand that it's jarring to see somebody you love change very abruptly. But she is, I think, better now than she would have been otherwise. Do you understand me?
I understand.
Whatever happened on the road, I don't know. I think she is considerably better for it, and I think she'll come out of this all right. And another thing, and this is even more important than perhaps the last thing I said, you do not mention or shot pistol anywhere else.
No, I don't.
Nowhere.
I don't know it exists.
Exactly. And I shouldn't even have heard about that, all right? I don't know. I don't know from whom she got it. But you need to know.
It needs to not be here.
It needs to not be here, and you need to understand why, because I don't know how much she has told you about the circumstances around Mr. Crow's death.
If I have a choice, I will not spread her secrets. And I think when she says this, she runs her fingers over the tattoo on the upper arm, the snapdragon flower. It's not magical, but it is a promise of sorts.
Right.
There's no magic there. I want to be clear on that, but it's.
I couldn't tell even if there was.
I know, but I'm giving you for PK that there's not magical binding. It is.
It's just her promise. I get it.
Yeah, it's her promise and the expression of loyalty of the crew of the Snapdragon. That's.
Good. You're a good sort. I asked your uncle quite a bit about you, you know, because I wanted to know who it was that my niece was spending so much time with. I think he was right. Now, be careful. You can relax a little bit, but still be careful and stay worried. And don't mention guns. Don't pretend like you have guns. Guns
are bad luck. They're
not. They certainly are. As far as Mrs. Marion Crow is concerned, as far as Mr. Ibis Crow was concerned, I do not think that. Now, obviously, nobody can be placed under suspicion, but it's still not a good idea to start that conversation. If you all get out town.
This conversation does not leave this room. This conversation does not happen until we're as far out of Corwick as we can.
Right.
You think Susanna's going to be in danger if.
Well,
what out?
It's not that. It's not that. It's that Susanna knows more than she's telling. And if she tells it,
the wrong people hear it.
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. My other niece, Eleanor, she's been gone for longer than Susanna has. She left the day Susanna's husband died. And there is a lot of talk about why that is. Do not want my niece, either of them, but especially Eleanor, to have any further evidence against them.
I understand. I won't.
All right. Very well. Good. I think you're a good sort.
I try to be. And I very much I like Susanna. Yes, she can be caustic and abrasive and a bit too sharp, but she's. Oh no, I've been on the sharp end of her tongue. I know.
It's been such a long time since anybody would have called an embrace. It's quite refreshing.
But I like her. She's...
I like her too.
I don't think she's good people. Not yet, but I think she's got... I think she's got the room to grow into it.
I think it is remarkable that she is where she is at the moment. Frankly, it's remarkable that she's alive, but I'm glad that she's growing.
What happened to her hand? Her right hand. She told me it was an accident.
She told everyone it was an accident. And Ida's face has gotten super dark and super stiff and super angry.
I won't cry, but I want...
As far as everyone knows, she was making dinner and had a dizzy spell. And somehow, Pan crushed her hand.
Adana gives a long, flat look at that, and I work with cast iron pans regularly, and I've never gotten that kind of damage.
I know what a pan can do. I know what a pan can do without somebody wielding it, and I know what it can do with somebody wielding it. You and I both know that she did not have a dizzy spell, but that is all that anybody will say on the matter. Because, of course, it could not have been anything else.
The reason I found out.
She loves working with her hands. She loves making things, creating things, doing what she loves. She loves her hands.
Adana just looks deeply sad. Like she went from angry to just heartbroken.
Same
because
thing
she
with
thinks
Ida.
she knows.
Same thing with Ida.
She made me a watch for my birthday. I gave it to her before we got here. Something to remind her that there was more of the world outside of Corwick. That
When was your birthday?
could just leave. What was that?
When was your birthday?
I, as Joe, need to check the specific.
It was like the 20th, I think.
I think it was 20th Horizon. I think Horizon is the first month, so I think it was 20th Horizon.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's Horizon, right?
Yeah. She smiles. She... Making watches was always what... Well, she didn't make so many later years, but she... I mean, come to think of it, it's been an awful long time since she's made a watch from scratch. She's usually fixing the old ones that she made or the old ones her daddy made when he died. Her sister had one that kept getting broken. She kept fixing it. It was good for her.
I figured that give her something to remind her that there's more than this, that there's more than whatever the fuck they want Susanna May to be.
She, I'm sure, appreciates it. I'm sure. You know, ask her to show you her workshop. Maybe brighten her spirits. She had so many things that were half finished, almost made, and I'm sure it would be nice for her to think on.
I have one other question that is a bit...
Yes.
In some of our travels, we ran into a place full of undead and the kind of magic that makes them. one of them touched her on the right side, and she was so scared. That's how I know about the gloves. That's how I know about her hands. Because she was struggling to get the gloves off. And I helped her, because of course I did, because I couldn't just look at her that upset and not.
Listen. This is not a good place. It's my town. I like it here. This is not a good town. There's an awful lot wrong. Surely you've seen all those crows.
I have. That many carrion birds can't be good for
They're
much
not.
of anything.
They're not. I wouldn't get too close to them, but if you get a good look at them, you'll see what I mean. They're not. They're not proper birds anyway. And this town, whatever it is, it's not good, and it has to do with those birds, their mask, everything else that comes with them. And so, no, Susanna does not like that sort of magic. I can't speak for specifics. She never tells anybody specifics. We can't say specifics. That would be too honest.
Improper.
Don't do honesty here.
She was better while we were out. She never anything important, but she'd say things somewhat upfront. Wasn't ever anything important, but
do you know any sort of magic apart from your water trick?
only I can call water to me and I can shape it when it's near my hands, but I can't. I'm a brawler. That's my job.
I've never been magically inclined either. I don't know how to look at it and see
Leave magic to some of our friends. I'm a brawler. That's my job.
I wonder. I've often wondered what I would be able to do if I had a talent for magic, but mostly I just wonder what this place would look like if I could see. I don't know. Ask one of your friends, maybe. And she stands up and she brushes off her jacket, brushes off her gloves, says, I hope that you'll stop by again sometime. I'd like to
Frankly,
talk about.
I need somewhere. I need people I can talk openly with without feeling like it's going to be used as a knife.
Yes.
And you are lovely company.
Oh, thank you, darling. I would advise. No, you're all smart enough. All right. You do what you feel is best. And come visit me.
Frankly, what I feel is best is getting Susanna to agree to leave as soon as possible.
And I hope you can. I hope you can. It's her sister always wanted to move somewhere else. But they never did. It was always one reason or another. But I hope you can convince her. All right. You have a lovely day. It's very good to meet you properly. You're every bit the lovely young woman that your uncle speaks of.
And you are every bit the force of nature that he speaks of.
Force of nature. Ooh, I like that. Oh, I will be using that for sure.
I believe he said something about you might as well try and stop. You'd be better off trying to stop force of nature than stop you when you put your mind to it.
He flatters me excessively, but I do so love it. Well, I hope I'll have to get down to Western one of these days. I miss his company. We'll see. We'll see. Things will settle down soon, I hope. I hope.
He did want me to ask after your state of mind and your safety.
I'm perfectly safe. It's worked out rather luckily for me, I'm afraid, but no, I'll have to write him a letter. And I'll have to make sure you carry it so that it does not get laid. Letters are often mislaid here.
I gather.
Well, Parker, I don't know. That is a question for Ida and Lumaz. Ida. And Miss Ida will escort you out to the main area. The others will have picked up your jacket. You don't have it at the moment. And you can yeehaw on out.
Yeah. Dana probably does it very much as a casual amble. Well, sort of shoulders straight but casual amble. That. Yeah, I have every right to be here, and yes, I am wearing most of a suit. Fuck off.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You are very
Hell yeah.
Hot. Just need to roll up the sleeves of the undershirt.
Yeah, well, no. I mean, I don't think anyone in this town could handle that.
No, they would
the thing
die.
is, I need to remind you, there is an undershirt, but it's actually, I believe PK and I established that it was not actually a sleeved.
Oh yes, we did not have sleeves.
There was the vest part, but it wasn't.
Her shoulders were too glorious. That was what we said.
Too gay for that.
Damn. Yes.
Diana is a menace.
Diana is a wife.
It is certainly a something that you guys have the jacket.
Wife.
An absolute menace.
Yeah. So,
that sounds like Corwin could use some menacing.
Well,
honestly,
that happened. The rest of you, sort of walk on back to Susanna's house. Is there anything you would like to do, /say, /find, /anything?
Veyra's just going to keep an eye on Susanna and, her disposition.
She did put her veil back on when they left Idle Hands, and is a little more difficult to read because of that. But she seems not like she's dreading going back to her house. She just seems a little sad that she's not still at Idle Hands.
So, that celebration she was talking about.
I don't know anything about that. However, she did say Mrs. Christabel Tucker. You haven't even met her yet. Oh, I adore her. She's horrendous in the best way. I adore her.
Sounds like
Does she adore her?
Make it insight.
I don't believe that she adores anyone in this town, really.
I kind of want to insight as well.
She did seem legitimately affectionate towards them.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's true.
Veyra, she seems like she adores Mrs. Christabel Tucker in 5-minute stretches.
Okay.
That's the vibe you get.
Relatable.
I feel that.
So I don't know what she has planned, but she gets very excited anytime there's anything to be planned. She is the queen of a spontaneous potluck. And if she can help it, there will be music and dancing and drinking and food. So all the good elements of the party. I will help you out one bit. You will be swamped, you will be assaulted, and that is the way all parties are here in Corwick.
I mean, I'm kind of excited actually. I haven't been to a good party in quite a few years.
I don't know, like, if it's a normal thing. I've never been, well, I've hardly been anywhere else, but I haven't partied anywhere else. So I don't know if it's the average sort of party, but you should have some fun. It might be just horribly mortifying fun, but you should have.
Oh, that sounds brilliant.
Well, I'm not much of a party person, to be honest, but
There will be alcohol.
then I can manage.
Mm-hmm.
I really did enjoy that wine, actually. It was very good. What did you think, Dylan?
You look a little unsteady, Vias. Are you all right?
Oh, we've been standing out here long enough, and I had water for like the last half hour. I'll be fine.
All right.
Plus, I need to guide Dylan around a little bit.
Hello.
How much did you drink?
Like one.
Is
One.
all right?
One glass. Jesus Christ. Listen, I'm a former alcoholic, not an actual one.
No. Oh. It's a lot to unpack.
Dylan, you know when I said I feel bad because yesterday I told you that maybe you might scare some people with Marcus, but I didn't actually mean you had to go everywhere without him.
I mean, I would prefer not to scare people.
You can.
They might think I adopted one of the crows.
You know that
They
could
might.
do, Dylan? And he kind of like adjusts some of his stuff and then realizes he has one in his hair and then just pulls it down and he like stretches it out and says, "Ta-da! We can make a collar for him." So they know he's like I guess with us. I mean, he might not like it, but at least they would know he's not one of the bunch of crazy ones.
I mean, Marcus is a little crazy, I'm not gonna lie.
One of the Corwick crazy.
Birds aren't that bad.
Well,
You
they
have not
did
met
kind
some
of
birds.
insult his bird, so...
What?
That's what Dylan told us this morning.
I'm sorry.
That's why
Marcus had a little too much fun with the other birds and then died.
Oh my god, he died?
He's easy to get back, right?
I mean, it takes like an hour, but yeah.
Are you all right, Dylan? I remember the last time it happened, you had something of a hard time with it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, you know.
All right. Well, if you need any help, let us
I-
know. All right.
I'm so sorry, Dylan. I didn't think I didn't think that anything would happen to him, or I would have said so.
Lisa, he's like me, kind of. He went and played with the crows and had a little too much fun, and, you know.
Sorry.
Well, either way, I think when we get back, we'll have plenty of time to ourselves to get him back. You shouldn't have to suffer just for the sake of other people.
Yes, if you can bring him back, please. Please, I mean, keep him for sure. I mean, nothing should happen if he's with you, but I didn't think that anything would happen if he went out.
I think your family would not like it.
It's fine. It's fine.
Vias gently strokes the white feathers.
Susanna trying very hard to say, I don't give a shit.
Vias just pets Mercy's raven head. and her white feathers.
They can deal with it. It's okay. They'll be confused and then they'll be fine with it. They'll adjust. I adjusted, didn't I? It was scary for me when I met you, but I adjusted and it's fine.
It's scary for everyone.
Yeah, and it's okay because they will not have to stare down your bird if they don't want to stare down your bird.
I mean, like, most people don't, like, stare as much as people hear them. They're just like, oh, what the hell, and then, like, stop looking at me.
People do a lot of staring here, but that's just because we are not very good at manners by many standards.
You have a lot more manners than most people I've met.
But they're very different manners. You understand that? Yes, the manners are different.
Not really.
No, we can agree to disagree. But yeah, don't worry about what anybody's gonna think. Just bring them back. I feel really, really bad.
I mean, that would be like somebody taking a mobile device, like a walker from an old person, because it makes somebody else uncomfortable. That's not okay.
Really?
It's equivalent. I mean, my sister had troubles with her movement, and some stupid kid was like, "Hey, I don't like that you have this." And I mean, she needs it to walk, so. And he realizes what he said, and he kind of just goes a little quiet.
Bias is right, though. You don't need to adjust this to make people around here more comfortable.
Bias nods his head eagerly.
No. Dylan, I'm declaring something. I'm declaring something. You do not get to do things because of what my family thinks. I'm the one who does things because of what my family thinks. You don't get to steal my thing.
You don't get to steal my abuse reaction.
That's my coping mechanism, damn it.
That is my maladaptive coping mechanism, sir. You do not get to have it.
Oh, God.
Okay, if you say so.
I do say so.
Sure.
Very good. Okay, I'm glad we could come to that agreement.
Uh-huh.
Right. So, yes, you've all made it back to the house probably by this point and sort of settle down and get your things however you would like. Just chill, vibe, as it were.
Just vibing.
What time of day is this currently?
I said like 3 o'clock, 3:30, 3:30. We'll put it at 3:42 because now you are in a room with many clocks.
Oh man, Bias is just gonna kind of like pace around a little bit and just be like, oh, I really want to see those birds. I really, now my curiosity just won't go away.
The birds over in the field.
Yes.
I mean, no one's stopping you. I guess don't let Mercy fly unattended because that might somehow import. But I mean, you can go. They're not very interesting birds. They just fly and fight and like they're not going to talk or anything. They're not interesting like Mercy.
She could yell at them. Tell them, hey, knock off, but I guess in my voice.
Bye, yeah.
Then. See ya! Have fun!
I mean, but again, be careful because apparently they will just... I've never seen them really with other birds around, so I really didn't know that they would just attack a bird.
That's weird. I mean, birds kind of have like a territory thing. But
I mean, they fight amongst themselves. I just thought that they would not... I don't know. I didn't even really think he'd be over there with them, but just be careful mercy, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I can do this, and he snaps his fingers, and she just dissipates. And then he
Oh.
snaps them again, and she appears, like, almost right on your shoulder.
Hello, Rosebud.
She clicks her beak and just repeats it back to you.
But again, yeah, you can go look at the birds if you would like. Birds. Yeah, I guess. Dione, you can come back to the house at whatever time.
I think Diana's actually gonna try and see if she can't get a bit of a look at the birds that are lurking around, just to see if she can't see what Ida was angling at.
Are you going to the field with a bunch of the birds, or are you just trying to look at the ones that are around?
The ones that are around, she doesn't want to take her chances with the field until there's at least one other party member with her.
Make a perception check.
Treasure, can you scroll it? Oh, or move? Okay, that works. Thank you, dearest. 25 total.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, 25 total. I actually need to see if this one is blank. That is a thing I determine about birds. Thank you. All right. So, you find a bird sort of perched on a bit of fence post. You kind of approach it a little bit cautiously. It is a crow. As you're looking at it, you notice that it's quite roughed up. It's not a very elegant looking bird for sure. It has feathers out of place. It has it looks like it got put through a windstorm. And as you look at it a little bit closer, it has a deep gash sort of in its chest that the feathers all sort of part around, and you see dark red blood.
Does it look like it was made by a beak?
I don't know how beaks. It looks like it was not made by a knife. Could have been a beak or a claw or something. And it looks like this bird should be dead. And it is looking at you and blinking. And eventually it caws and then flaps its wings and flies away into the sky, perfectly fine. That was a deep gash. It shouldn't have been alive. If it was alive,
yeah.
That's creepy.
So that is perplexing to you. You're thinking maybe that might have been the sort of thing Ida was talking about. And
yeah, that's
can go back to Susanna's house.
Yeah.
When you enter, Susanna will look up at you and say, "So I hope that you two weren't trading embarrassing stories about me."
She just gives a bit of a smile and a hum, and you'll have to find out, won't you?
Oh.
She seems a little bit rattled. Like, I'll give you that as a...
Talia has been Jay chilling with the tome.
Jay chillin'.
Vias will kind of wait on the bird thing and probably, like, see if he can help Dylan at all, just re-summon Marcus.
Yeah. I also think Diana might kind of tap Vias on the shoulder and just, can we talk at some point?
He blinks. Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of free now. What's up?
It's not important right now. And you see her sort of fidget with the ring, like she's
He just cocks
almost
his
like
head.
she's trying to indicate I would rather not be overheard.
You know, I think Dahlia found an attic last night.
Yeah, I remember noticing that.
Want to go check it out?
Help Dylan, we'll figure it out later.
Okay.
And if you open my attic, please do it gently this time. The stairs will not survive too many slams down on the floor like that.
Talia is instantly down the hallway and is gonna try to run and grab it again.
Dead ass.
To be a shit.
I
Dead
think
ass.
Diona is torn between allowing this and trying to do damage control.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think Diona does try to.
Need a 25 acrobatics, bitch.
I mean, I can try.
Oh my god, you guys.
We're just here ruining Susanna's home. Like we usually are.
26.
Oh my god!
I won!
That
Because of the luck stone.
literally
Damn it! I hate it. Why did I give you a luck stone?
so perfect.
That's amazing.
So, Talia, you take off going down the hallway, and you're going fast. Nobody's gonna catch you. You dodge around Susanna. You dodge around Dylan. You are going. And Diona, you're like, oh shit, I'm stopping this. You make chase, and you make good chase, and you're almost there, and then, luckily, Talia stumbles just the tiniest little bit, and you manage to get an arm around them and stop them as they were going for the handle.
They are suddenly like a cat you are holding like underneath the front two arms to like put out.
That's what I imagined.
Oh my gosh.
Talls.
My house will be ruined.
Vice is in
I'm
the corner
trying
trying not to
to
cry.
help.
I think Diona is still gonna keep one arm looped around Talia and just reach for the handle herself. And bring it down gently.
Talia is
pretty.
very lucky cat.
That would have been funny, but I'm sure it would have been not the best to replace.
And again, need I remind you, I said it this morning, I'm not sure if everyone was awake, do not close the attic while you are in the attic will lock, and you cannot get out while the attic is locked.
Is there a window out there?
No, you cannot get out while the attic is locked. So just know that
Just
if
had
you
a
vex
fear
me too
realization.
terribly much,
Oh boy.
How
I
does
can-
Susanna know it locks from up there?
Yeah.
There is no window.
Oh.
I've been there.
Fear.
Yeah.
We remember, Susanna, if it does close and we can just ask someone. Diana does again. Touch at the ring. We can just ask someone to let us out.
Yep, there is
Yeah.
like 5 of us.
you can, or I could lock you all up in there and not have to deal with you for a little bit.
Diana just tilts her head and gives Susanna a slightly. It's a very put-upon stricken look.
Oh, don't do that. I wouldn't. You know I would. Stop it.
She just lights up with a grin, and I think she just moves up and gentle shoulder touches Susanna.
You're
Just
disgusting. I'm disgusted
I
by
could
you.
just shatter it if you try and do that, but that's okay.
It is my house. You can't just break my house.
I'll reimburse you.
Reimburse me with what money? You're broke.
I can do physical labor.
You would fix my
Bias.
attic for me. You would fix my attic. I don't think so.
I have great skills.
Oh, yes. I'm sure that you do.
I could grow an entire tree for you to fill that, you know.
In my house?
To give you more wood to fix it.
Oh, so outside my house you would grow a tree?
Yes, not in your house.
Interesting.
Bias just wiggles his fingers. He says, "Magic."
No. Stop it. You're ridiculous.
Magic.
You're absolutely ridiculous. Stop it.
He kind of bobs a little bit. Magic.
I love him.
Terrible, terrible people, all of you. Every single one of you.
Mercy and Bias's voice just says magic and bobs as well.
No. You. I am going to go sit
She's smiling.
somewhere else. She is absolutely smiling. I am
That
going
is
to
all he
sit
cares
somewhere
about.
else and not listen to your pesterings and your magic and any of it. I'm just going to go sit quietly.
It is magic.
No.
Susanna?
Stop it.
One quick question. Do you
Yeah.
have any requests for dinner?
Requests for dinner?
Well, unless someone's going to bring by food again, I figure.
Oh no, I think Gertie's just fixated on the breakfast. She I'm sorry. I know you don't really like sharing food and such. She likes being helpful.
I understand. So I'll see what we've got as far as groceries for dinner.
All right. I don't particularly care what we end up eating, rather. You are what you eat. Hashtag Talia. Hashtag Cannibal Monk.
Like
God
last
damn
night we
it.
were our chicken and waffles.
It never ends.
And Susanna will sit in the dining room and just sort of chill for a while.
Yep.
Bias is just smug that he got Susanna to smile, so he's good now.
Yeah.
Dylan, are you re-summoning Marcus?
Yeah, he's vibing.
Cool, he's vibing.
Excellent.
Bias, you are no help at all because you just spent your time harassing Susanna.
Bias wouldn't be able to help anyways.
Yeah, that's why Bias kind of hadn't. He'd just been hovering, which probably wasn't very helpful. So.
I'm very amused by the fact that it was Luxtor that.
Mm-hmm.
Does Diona tell anyone what she saw about the birds?
That is going to be
Dinner discussion?
Dearest, is there a way to only send a message to particular rings, or is it just all or nothing? It's important.
I know it's important. I didn't make this decision.
Well, you know, first of all, that Susanna is not wearing a.
Oh, if Susanna doesn't have the message ring, okay, in that case.
She has it, does not wear it. So you can have a Susanna-free conversation.
See if you're wearing the ring?
Yes.
Okay, so. Well, if Susanna's not wearing hers, then it doesn't matter.
Alright, then I'll figure it out later.
Diana particularly once Dylan has Marcus back. Diana does ping the rings with just kind of a I just seem to suggest that one of you who could see magic might see something interesting if you had a look. And I noticed something about the birds.
What about the birds?
One of them should have been dead and it flew away like it was fucking nothing. It was badly injured and it flew away like it was nothing.
All right. Would
Is that a strange thing to happen?
Yes.
All
Usually
right.
would one of
birds
you
would-
like to come with me outside? Just to
I mean, I
I wanna
wanted to
take a
go
look
check
at
out
this.
the birds, but now that you said that, that sounds way suspicious.
I wanna I wanna I wanna get a closer look at one of these birds.
Don't be too obvious. They are a more disconcerting version of looking into Mercy's eyes.
Oh, that's nice.
As
to
far as
use
level of
Mercy
awareness.
as these.
Alright.
Mercy's reassuring. Those fuckers are not.
I could
Let's leave it
technically
there.
try and hypnotize them.
Oh my god.
I guess we all
I-
decided that the rings talk to everybody at once. Good to know.
Sorry, I thought that's what you had been going for.
I mean, yeah, but also I hadn't figured out. But here we go. Yes,
It's a good
that's
vibe.
that's what happens.
Just give us a group chat. It's fine.
Group chat.
Group
Party group
chat.
chat.
If I can get within range of the birds, like 120 feet range, I can create a 30-foot cube, and basically they need to make a wisdom saving throw, and on a failed save, they become charmed, and while charmed, they become incapacitated, and their speed is 0, so you can technically...
Well,
hypnotic pattern.
Yeah.
I'd like to try something else before we bring them all down on us.
I just mean to hold them so we can examine them, but yeah. It's everything in the cube.
If you can get one within 30 feet of me.
Yeah.
I have a thought, and I'm not sure I like it.
Vias
Should be
will
moderately
offer
doable.
mercy. I can make it quick.
Alright.
I think Diana is gonna stay inside, and I think Diana's very specifically gonna go to the kitchen and start doing, like, looking through what groceries there are, looking through what's available.
So
Because she's also going, I was probably noticed. So I'm just gonna make myself.
who's doing the bird thing?
I mean, I could, in character, out of character, Vias is offering, to use Mercy as a distraction, but he can cast Expeditious Retreat on her to make her quicker, so that she can get away from them faster, but she can be bait to lure them closer. And if they attack, he can use Hypnotic Pattern, to basically, if they fail the Wisdom save, to trap them at 0.
It's a stun lock. It's a grid stun lock. It is
Yeah.
fantastic and amazing. And
That's why I took it. I was like, 30
however,
feet, yes,
it is
please.
a charm effect, so
Yeah.
I can detect if they're undead, but I need to be within 30 feet of them.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So if you can get even just one of them within,
Sure.
can probably extrapolate.
I mean,
Yeah.
Vias is willing, and Mercy doesn't really seem to care about being a distraction. She is a being of not flesh and bone.
Alright. As long as you're okay with it, Mercy.
She just bobs her head, and her feathers kind of like poof out. She clicks her little beak together a couple times.
Alright. Good woman.
She seems to preen at that. Yeah.
All right. Are you guys going out to mess with some birds?
Yeah, but I mean, Vias will send Mercy up.
All right.
He casts Expeditious Retreat on her. Because technically, he can cast this on her a couple of times, even without touching her, because she can touch herself and cast it. Because he can cast through her. That's
All
so
right.
broken.
Who
It
needs?
is kind of, but considering that it takes your action to do it, it just lets you sort of range to deliver it.
She's just vibing.
Yeah. It basically just takes my bonus action to cast, but yeah.
Yeah. So you guys can go out, and there are some crows flying about, and Mercy can. What is it exactly that you're having her do?
He's gonna try and bait the crows after her, at least one of them.
All right. So
She is a big white raven. She obviously sticks out.
She can fly up to a small group of crows, maybe 4 or 5 there. And I don't know. We're just going to assume that it works because they are aggressive, and so they will fly after her as she flies past them.
Mm-hmm.
And she can lead them down and around to within 30 feet of Vera, I understand to be the goal.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, she is faster than them, and so is not going to get caught and attacked yet.
I think when she gets within range, Vias will disapparate her. So
all
she
right.
doesn't get hurt.
And Vera, what is it that you're doing?
I'm casting Detect Good and Evil, which allows me to sense the location of an aberration, celestial, elemental, fae, fiend, or undead if it is within 30 feet of you.
All right, I said there were 5 crows. Quick. Okay, so 4 of them are birds. They're normal birds. One of them is very, very juicy and undead.
Oh, good.
Okay.
I don't like that it's juicy and
Yeah, juicy. Juicy isn't a good descriptor. Not a fan of that.
In fact, you notice as it flies past you and you get a decent look at it that its feathers do seem to be a little bit damp, juicy with blood, as one might say if one were awful.
Okay.
blood. Ew.
I'm gonna also cast. Okay, here's the thing. I don't know if I should cast a spell magic on one of the living ones or the dead one.
I will mention that is going to be if it works, that's going to be a noticeable fucking move. And are we sure we want to do that yet?
I don't know, but
if she's going to try something, if she's put that down the line, Vias can make her invisible.
But it's gonna break invisibility once I cast the spell.
True.
I love how we're all just like, hey, we're gonna
hide you for 2 seconds.
Let me see if I have anything else that I could.
I will be right back. I need to go potty so bad. It's still recording, so do what you will.
All right. No, not that. Sorry, I'm going through my spells that might be useful in this moment.
That's all right. While that is going on, while Vera is thinking of what she might do, Diona, you said you were in the kitchen.
Yeah, Diona's in the kitchen.
Susanna is in the dining room, and you hear at the dining room window, tap, tap. Tap, tap. Tap, tap.
What is it?
It's a little white.
Look.
It's a little white and gray bird perching on the windowsill. Tapping on the window. Tap, tap. Tap,
Can I try and recognize what kind of bird it is?
Yeah, make a nature check. Oh, I have no idea what kind of bird it is. It is gray, but it is also white. It's very interesting. Yeah, that is what you know about the bird. Susanna's just sort of sitting at the table watching it.
Sus, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Tap, tap, tap.
I think Diana is gonna get a small dish and fill it with water, like a small, like a small saucer. I think.
Yeah.
And she's gonna sort of go towards the windowsill and, do you mind if I let it have the water?
Just don't let it in. I don't want it flying around the house.
Okay. And she's gonna crack the window open enough to be able to put the dish out. Since it's a bird that seems moderately friendly as compared to the local bastards.
Yes. It is not, it does not look bloody, fucked up, or otherwise juicy with blood.
Keep saying juicy.
I need to stop saying juicy. Believe me, no matter how much you hate me, I hate me saying juicy. And it looks like a fine, normal little bird. And it sits on the windowsill while you place the saucer. And it's watching you.
Diana gives it a little bit of a nod, and I think she does mostly close the window, like not enough to let it through, but enough to let some air in.
It's sort of
weird, and it's not a creepy crow. So, and it seems very determined to.
It stands on the windowsill still, and it looks at the water, but it does not drink it.
Okay.
And after a little while, it starts tapping again, but not annoyingly frequently this time, just sort of an occasional tap tap. Vera, how you doing outside on spells?
I'm not gonna do Dispel Magic. I'm just gonna cast Detect Magic while they're also flying by. And
all right,
I want to know. Yeah, let's see. It'll tell me the School of Magic if it has one on all of the burbs.
So the 4 living birds do not seem to have any magical aura. The one trying so hard not to call it the juicy bird.
You can call it the juicy bird.
The juicy bird is just radiating necromancy in a very, very intense way. And in a less intense but still kind of shockingly present way, so is like the whole, what's the range on this?
60 feet?
30 feet.
The whole 30-foot area that you are seeing in your Detect Magic right now is also radiating some necromancy.
Oh, that's
just
fun.
just all of it. Just all of it.
Like intense or just like a very mild sorta?
It is, compared to the juicy bird, quite mild.
Okay.
But yeah, the ground is necrotic, basically.
I hate that.
It's not a good town.
No, I'm getting that feeling.
Something
Okay. Yeah, I think it does stay up for 10 minutes. So she's just gonna keep it going while she walks back and see how far this whole necrotic drizzle goes.
You are walking from your location back to Susanna's house. It is everywhere that you go.
Vice is following you.
Are there any people that give off that necrotic juice?
Aren't, let's see here.
Are they
there wouldn't be
as well?
any.
Are they juicy?
Are they juicy? let me actually roll and see who
Oh, I
might-
don't like that
I'm
at
sorry.
all.
I'm gonna have to title this episode Juicy. I don't make the rules, but I do make the
Alright,
titles.
Let's see who might be out on their porch. Ooh. And no. Okay. So there aren't many people out and about. There is. Let me do one. Make a perception check for me while I do a stealth check. Yeah.
So Vera's doing a perception check?
Vera is, yes.
You broke out for a second. I couldn't hear you.
Make a perception check.
A perception check. Alrighty.
Perception. Please.
Come on.
Holy
Yes.
shit.
Oh hell yeah!
So
Vera sees all.
you see someone on a porch, on a house, a much smaller house, a ways from Susanna's house, just sort of down the road. And as you walk past this house, you see somebody in the window watching you, who is also, yeah, they're juicy.
They juicy.
Oh.
Oh,
They got that
no.
necrotic juice.
They
Oh,
got some
no.
necrotic juice.
They got
Oh, I
bad
don't
juice.
like this town at all.
They
This is a bad town.
I said so.
Okay.
Vias is just looking increasingly
One-
worried at Vera, like what is going on?
One last thing. I want to get a look at Susanna.
Okay,
Oh,
you're gonna
no.
go. You're gonna go into the house, and you walk, and you're really quite nervous at the moment. And you look into the kitchen. You see Diona. Diona's fine. You look past Diona, see Susanna sitting there, and there is no magical aura around her at all.
I mean, besides whatever magical items she has.
Right.
Okay.
Past Susanna, sitting on the windowsill, the little mockingbird is also glowing. Also necromancy, but a little fainter, a little different.
The bird's her dead husband.
Hey.
So that is what you see with your detect magic.
I was panicking. You were dragging that out.
I very much was. I'm
She
pleased
had
with it.
to.
Okay. She's kind of motioned to Vias, and if anyone else is not exploring the attic right now. She's gonna kind of get the crew together, sans Susanna, and I guess Diona because she's cooking.
I mean, if you use the rings, Diona will be in on the conversation.
Can Susanna hear since they're kind of in the same room?
Susanna doesn't have a ring.
Okay, so it's not like a actual voice coming out of the ring. It's like in your head.
Diona, depending on how loud she speaks, because you have to physically speak into the ring, but you will hear whatever's said in your head. So Diona
Okay.
might have to keep her voice down, but
But even if she just listens but doesn't actually contribute, that's also doable.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too.
So yeah, she'll just go with the ring then, since Susanna isn't wearing it.
Mhm.
This town it's a bad place. And I don't just mean the feelings. There's necromancy, necrotic energy everywhere. All around us.
That is
I
not
think
good. The one that I felt
Talia-
gross.
Talia, who has been in the living room with the fucking tome, like, stops writing.
Not all the crows are undead, but at least some of them are. And some of the people too.
What?
I couldn't
Ah.
see who it was, but there was someone staring out a window in one of the houses who was
Susanna,
definitely.
I think Susanna hears something fuck, like Diana has just like cut through a heavy root vegetable and she mutters fuck. Maybe like she made a mistake. She mutters it where the ring can pick it up. Yeah,
we need to get out of here.
Or help this town, maybe?
If the people here even want to be helped, I don't.
Talia is packing up their things and their bag.
Fucking mood.
Calmly and rationally, just like, I'm gonna pack my shit.
Time to get out of here.
Tobias crosses his arms and scowls as he's talking through the ring, and he's just saying, "Look, we have like 3 or 4 people that have access to religious ties. We might be able to do something. We're strong-ish. Maybe they won't like it, but if there's necrotic birds and people, I don't think they should be." And there's heavily implied around, but he doesn't say it.
I agree, but this might be a curse on the land. It's hard to say. I'm gonna reach out.
Has like a central part of it.
It does.
When Talia's in a separate room, they chime in and just go, "If it's as widespread as I think Vera is saying, it's not accidental, it's intentional, and we need to go."
We need to wait until Susanna's ready to leave. Or it will look suspicious why we suddenly want to leave immediately.
And I don't want to leave. It's said very quietly.
Well, we're not leaving without Susanna.
No. That is
and
not
at the end of the day, it's her call, but I really don't like this place.
No, I've been sleeping weird. I mean, we were only here a day, but I felt sick.
Gonna try and speak to my god, see if I can get anything more about this place, this whatever this curse, if that's even what it is, might be. If any of you can do the same, I recommend doing it.
I can try, but usually my lady only comes to me in dreams when she wants to.
Well,
I can ask, but I'm not. You guys know I'm not overly pious.
Well, I don't think
I still don't understand what a god is, so I'm just gonna start packing. But I'm gonna get your things.
I don't think you're wrong, Talia. I think you might want to be ready to go at any given moment, but for now, at least, I think we should stick around for Susanna.
I agree with that.
And I'm getting everyone's bags ready.
All right.
Like it or not.
Thank you, Tulse.
And Talia will systematically pack everyone's shit up.
You don't have access to Diana's cooking kit because it's in the kitchen with her.
But Talia presumes that'll happen. If any of you look at your shit after this, it is the most organized and efficient I've ever fucking seen.
Are you packing Susanna's shit as well?
Yes. Talia Susanna's room and pack everything
Oh,
up.
they didn't. No one told them not to. So
has it been an hour?
Yeah, it's been an hour for sure.
We got a Marcus back, y'all.
Yay!
The glasses are away. Marcus is on Dylan's shoulder. Marcus squawks at you.
Bias is delighted, and he just kind of wiggles his fingers in greeting.
Bastard boy. Bastard.
Marcus is just making bird noises.
Excellent. Let him make his bird noises. At least he's not dead anymore.
Talia has been going through all of the rooms in the hallway.
Yeah.
So that's where they're at.
Yeah, no, I was asking Dylan and Marcus were.
They arrive at the group. Once Dylan has Marcus, he goes to where everyone else is, because I assume he was doing this alone.
Yeah, Vias had been kind of following Vera around, so wherever she was, he was.
I assume you all were sort of in one or the other, maybe scattered through a couple of the back rooms, the guest rooms that you guys had been staying in.
By the way, Talia is not intentionally going through people's things. Like, they're not snoopy. They're just very much like, this is a weird shape. Okay. That's as far as their curiosity is like, how do I make the shapes work in as small and efficient space as possible?
Okay.
They're not like, ooh, time for secrets. No, they are efficient and going.
Yeah, because they're going, we're getting the fuck out of here soon? Okay.
Dylan has not unpacked anything. Like, all his shit is still in his backpack.
Yeah, Bias's stuff has basically been in his bag, or his pajamas might have been thrown over a chair. That was probably it.
Even if your stuff is still in a bag, Talia checks your packing just to make sure it's not cumbersome or...
That's valid.
Put a
Talia will
couple
touch
clothes
your
in there
packing.
just in case.
Listen, the Dolphier had to travel, like, light or pack very well.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's probably a couple of inches of extra space in your bags when they're done.
Excellent.
I'm very amused by the idea of, like, Dylan goes back to check his bag and it's just...
He does not question it.
Oh, man.
I've also suddenly got the mental image of Dylan as someone who packs by, like, tossing his stuff in just in as much as it'll fit.
Yes.
Yeah, I see it.
This is the most organized the party's
He's
been.
got, like, half the bag now that he didn't have before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Diana's gonna keep going about. She's not actually, I think at this point, because you said it's about 3.
It's been a little while with all of your experiments and shenaniganery. We'll call it 4:47.
So yeah, she's doing a lot of sort of the like making the making the broth and making that, but not actually making the big pot of the meal yet. I think
Susanna isn't like hovering over your shoulder checking your work or anything. She's just sort of sitting and vibing.
Yeah.
Good.
I think she does have a bit of a I think she does kind of casually over her shoulder at Susanna, just, if we go back to see your aunt, I think she'd like to see the watch you made.
The one I made for you?
Yeah. Let us see how much your craftsmanship's improved since she last saw you.
Oh, I don't know about that. She's seen my daddy's work. She knows what craftsmanship is, but
yeah, but it's not yours.
I'll bring it. I'll show her. Did you like her?
I did. I can see why she and Lamaz get along, and I feel like she and Flory will get on like a house on fire.
Oh, goodness. Oh, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Oh, you and I would know no peace.
Oh, but no, neither would anyone else.
That would be amazing.
What do you say? Should we arrange for it?
Oh, I get the feeling that they'll have something arranged their own selves. And you should have heard her. She was.
We're not surprised.
She told me so much about your uncle. It was good to hear her. Is it weird? I know she's my aunt. She's been responsible for me for so long, but I'm glad that she has some new friends. You know, I think it's good for her. I missed her.
She's good people, and it's good to terrifying in her own element.
Oh, yes. Oh my goodness, you should have seen. There's so many times you should have seen her, but anytime something went in a way that she did not feel it was supposed to, she can curse someone out without ever saying a bad word, you know? She's so good at it.
I think Diana just looks a little bit delighted and I want to be someone like her when I grow up.
Me too. Oh my goodness. If I could be like Miss Ida. I'm so glad I got to see her. I missed her.
Talia brings everyone's bags out to the living room and lines them up on the central.
Susanna looks at that. Can I ask Talia what's going on there?
I think Talia glances at Diona.
Diana slightly shakes her head.
I saw you all pack pretty badly. So I kind of wanted to show you all how to do it better, so maybe you can carry more stuff.
That's very nice of you.
Hey, PK, what would you say a composure check is?
A composure check, I would say, is a performance roll.
Because I think Diana just nearly
I think
coughs and starts laughing.
Well, thank you, Talia, for sharing your packing skills with us. It's very, very, very sweet of you, I think. Or maybe you're just telling us that we're all truly terrible at it, which you are, but I don't know. Thank you? Thank you. I'll go with thank you.
They nod. And at some point do lean into the ring and just be like, your bags are in a central location, so in case we need to bolt, we've got.
Dylan's kind of staring into his bag and kind of slowly coming to the realization that now he doesn't really know where anything is.
What was that?
Dylan is staring into his bag and coming to the realization that he doesn't know where anything is.
Bias is he kind of just glances in his bag and just shrugs. He doesn't really do much with it.
Susanna still seems a little bit confused, and she kind of goes up and she pokes around. I assume her bag is there as well.
Yes.
She sort of pokes into her bag and says, well, I mean, thank you. And she seems very conflicted at the moment.
That is the most genuine thank you I've heard.
Question.
Only genuine because of all the confusion.
Yes, literally.
I think Talia is also going to slip down to Susanna's workshop and grab Susanna some tinkering supplies.
Oh my god. All right, yeah, you can for sure grab sort of, you don't know much of what anything is, but you can grab of things.
Okay, excellent.
Because I assume Talia doesn't know what shit is.
Nope.
All right, you grab what you think she might use, what you think you've seen her use in the past, and what you think looks like it's packable. And yeah, you made her a go bag of tinkering supplies.
Mm-hmm.
We look out for each other.
Talia presumes Diona's got emergency food handled.
Yeah.
All right. And with all that packing accomplished and just before dinner, I will say, I think I'm gonna call it because it's 9 p.m.
I want to
my
do
back hurts.
one more thing real quick.
You can do one more thing.
This would be like in the dead of night after Veyra's done her
That's
trance.
All right. If we're going, yes. Okay. Go for it.
Is there a back door to Susanna's house?
No, there's not.
That building is in violation of every building code imaginable.
It is. So there's one entrance basically.
There's one entrance and there's plenty of windows.
Okay, never mind then. Then I won't do the thing.
Interesting. All right.
Every building code ever.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about that. There's no back door for sure.
Okay. Then forget it.
All right.
Or at least that we know of.
Yeah, there's nothing. As far as you're aware, the only place it theoretically might be is in Susanna's room, but I'm going to assume that you do not go in there and poke around.
No, while she's asleep.
Yeah, she is asleep.
Actually, is there a rug on the floor outside of Diona's room that would cover most of the floor?
Outside of Diona's room?
I'm
Or
sorry, not Susanna's room.
Outside of the room? Yeah, there's a in that little hallway there where there are 2 doors, Susanna's room and the workshop. There's a sort of long rug in that way.
No, I won't do it. Okay. Sorry.
I'm so curious about where that I'm desperate to know.
I mean, I was going to cast Glyph of Warding against undead if there was a back door.
Ah. Okay, interesting.
Or in Susanna's room, but I feel like that would be a little bit...
What about the front door?
Well...
Just explode.
I don't...
You're the welcome back.
Yeah, I don't want any of Susanna's in-laws to just explode as they come in the front door.
I mean,
Now, if someone was trying to sneak in through the back door, I feel like that's more fair game.
Portable juice that makes you explode.
But yeah, I'm not going to do that. It feels a little bit too invasive to do it right in front of Susanna's room.
It would have been funny though if you'd done that without detecting magic on her, and then if she had been undead and she was like,
I know.
Susanna's gone.
Oops. Well, it only does 5d8 damage.
I don't know.
A bit.
So yeah, that's unless there's any other little things that you guys would like to do at the moment, then I think I'm gonna call it because
No,
my
that's
back
fine.
I
hurts.
think that's a good place to wrap up session.
Yeah.
Congratulations, everybody! You all learned a little bit more about Susanna's hometown.
And
Not
it
happy
fucking
about
sucks.
it.
Yeah.
This place is awful.
Hell on earth.
Now you know 2 things. 1, why Susanna's so fucking awful, and 2, why Susanna was so keen on you guys not coming with her, but also so keen on you guys coming with her.
We will solve this mystery, Susanna. We promise.
We gotta do it.
Gotta do it to him.
Good luck.